Hello everyone and welcome. This is my first draft with comments. My name is Vadim and let's see what we can do here. We're going to be doing a Kaladesh draft and looks like it fired already. I was thinking about talking this up a little bit and then I figured I'll have enough time as I'm doing my picks to speak about me and what I'm doing and everything else. Alright, I like sorting by color. It kind of lets me immediately see what's open, what's not, where we go. Welding Sparks immediately jumps out as the best option here. If that wasn't in the pack, possibly Bazaar Barge, Foundry Inspector. Nothing too great in white, nothing too great in blue. This is fine. The Malphite Squad is fine. The Tune with Ether is fine. But I do think I'm going to get the red removal, particularly because there's not any real red cards. This is kind of a red card, but not really. You can run it in non-red decks and be fine. So we'll just take a good removal spell to start it off with, and we'll see where we'll go from here. Okay, so no good red cards. A green removal spell. I like red-green. Captured by the Consulate is a spell that I was pretty up on. It is 3 and a white, an enchantment aura. Enchanted creature you don't control, enchanted creature can't attack, and it basically is a lightning rod for anything your opponent plays that targets one target. I don't think I'm picking it here. I think here I'm just going to take Hunt the Weak. Just follow the old bread way of drafting. Bombs, removal, evasion, average, and dregs. So we'll just take the Hunt the Weak. Let's see. Thriving Rhino and Pima Outrider are both good cards. A couple of drafts ago I got 3 Pima Outriders, so it seems that people aren't picking them as highly as they could be. I don't know if it's better than Thriving Rhino. Thriving Rhino does come down early. I don't know if we're going to do anything with energy in this deck. Let's see, Blinslav Artisan for the white deck is good. Ceremonious Rejection can be good out of the sideboard, and you can't even main deck it in this format. Definitely taking one of these 2 green cards, and I think it's going to be the Rhino. We'll see if we can go down some kind of an energy path. Okay, so here we have Appetite for the Unnatural, which I do like. Probably not this early. Another Thriving Rhino, which is likely to pick. Ballista Charger is good. It's definitely good. I don't know if I want to be taking it here. Actually, Thriving Rhinos do come around a little bit. Maybe I do want the Ballista Charger. I think being in green, I'll probably have good fatties as is. And it does die to the Appetite for the Unnatural, which I'm hoping to pick up. So let's see here. I think if we're doing something with energy, Deadlock Trap can be quite good. Beat them up, and then remove their blockers, and then remove their blockers some more with the Deadlock Trap. Getting a bit heavy on the 3-drops. Hopefully that's not going to be a concern. Cal Prowler is pretty good, but it's replacement level at best. And it sits on the sideboard a lot of the time. Experimental Aviator is a good card, and I would be concerned with passing it, except this is a league, so chances are I'm not going to be playing any of these people. We are going to go through the competition. Is there a born? Okay, so if any of these people are in our draft, we can find out from here. Here I'm just going to take the High Spire Artisan, really getting down on these 3-drops. hopefully get to pick up some 2-drops as well. Demolition Stomper can be a beating under the right circumstances, but most of the time it's not a card I'm excited to play. It could come out of the sideboard. Another High Spire Artisan. Wow. 3 drops that deck. Here we come. Well, we see blue wheeling, which is not surprising. We see some black and some kind of cards that you would expect to be coming around. Let's see. We'll just take another High Spire Artisan here. Let's see. Magnum Cobra. Oriental Courage. Aradara Express. And I know it's ornamental. Just when I first saw this, it kind of looked like Oriental. No offense intended to anyone. Aradara Express Cobra. Cobra would be a 2-drop and it's good. It's an artifact and does stop a lot of stuff, so I think I will take that. We'll take another Cobra. We can go deep on Cobras. I like that card. Cow Prowler. Do I want that? We're definitely green. It's pretty good. Built to Smash can be good as well. But let's take the Big Fat Fatty. Let's see. I don't want the Renegade Tactics. I don't want the Metal Spinners Puzzle Nut. Automaton can be good, especially if we pick up the 3-2 that makes your artifacts cheaper. Alright, fine. Oops, somebody is not in the running there. Somebody is disconnected, so hopefully they will reconnect. I have been there and it sucks big time. But what are you gonna do? Sometimes it's your turn to be the one that's disconnected in the draft. And it's only about 11 tickets or so, so it's not a huge investment either way. Ooh, Appetite Wheel. That's a good wheel, even though it is our 80th 3-drop. So not locked to red at all. Pretty committed to green, but I'm okay with that. Green is pretty deep. Green has got pretty good synergy with a lot of stuff. Green has just good cards. So that's one inspection, fine. Snailid is still disconnected. Revolutionary Rebuff is not the most terrible counterspell that I've ever seen. It's not great, but it can be a blowout under the right circumstances, and if you play it and then side it out, your opponent is forced to play around it, keeping up 2 as long as you do. And a lot of the blue decks can keep up 2 mana much easier than the aggro red-green, or the aggro red-white, or the aggro green whatever, red whatever, white whatever. This is going to be the bottleneck, obviously. But chatting it up should be fine. And nobody is in blue, obviously, or not enough people. And this isn't really, this is filler at best. I don't play it even on my blue decks half the time. So we're gonna wait for the person that has dropped, that has lost connection rather. We're gonna wait for them to go through all the timeouts. And who is in here with us? It was Airborne. Snailid. Yukons 1980. Pear Jordan 685. Fitch to the max. Liam MTGO. Dynavolt Tower is the rare. It is pretty good with energy. So far, we don't have an extreme amount of energy. We have the Thriving Rhinos and the Deadlock Trap. I don't know if I'm all in on that. If that's not the pick, what is? So Cloud Blazer is a really good card. We are pretty far from it. Same for Contraband Kingpin. Wolf's Monitor is not a card I want to be picking this early. Maybe the Steed. The Infiltrator and the Pyrohelix are both good as well. Let me try the Dynavolt Tower. It doesn't come around. Okay. Outrider would be good. Prism is always good. Charger, especially as a foil. It's probably worth a ticket or a bit less. And it is a decent card. I think I want the Prism here, actually. Might sound crazy, but I do like the Prism. Femur Outrider. Sometimes wheels. Not a lot of the time, but I've seen it happen a couple of times. Well, it is going to be a while, that's for sure. Although it was airborne. Airborne. I don't know. Wow. Wow, just wow. So what immediately jumps out is the Fairground Warden. That card is just super good. Kambal is decent. I'm never super excited about it. Well, like I said, we're not in red, plus we do have the Prophetic Prism, so... And I have been seeing a bunch of white coming around. Maybe it is the sign to just take it here. And I'm going to. Durable Handicraft. It is a 2-drop, and it will let me do a whole bunch of stuff with all my creatures. Snare Adapter is just good. It's just a good, solid card. I think I'm more in the market for a Snare Adapter. I've been playing Magic for a while, ever since Invasion Block, but I stopped right around Ravnica, and I came back right around Return to Ravnica, which is kind of interesting, I guess. I've been watching a bunch of people draft. Marshall and LSV. Let's see here. Do I want the Wild Wonder? Do I want the Glinslav Artisan? Getting super heavy on the threes. Maybe I do just want the Wild Wonder. But Artisan is way too good, and I'm not really ramping into anything. So yeah, I've been watching Seems Good Magic. I've been watching Windmill Slam. Those guys are super good, and really a pleasure to watch. Wish Dennis and Ashin made more content, but the content that they do make is pretty good. So can't really be complaining about that too much. Okay, and the bottleneck is here. So check for non-creature artifacts. This, and this. It's kind of crazy, but I might be able to make this work. If it's not this, then the Seed Sculptor, the Mastodon, Fragmentize, Acrobatic Maneuver. Metalwork Colossus, you can get it back by sacrificing creature artifacts. Revoke privileges, yeah, definitely white is open. The only is reduced by non-creature artifacts, but you can reduce. I mean, you can sacrifice creature artifacts to return to your hand. The revoke privileges will be taken here. Furbish is actually pretty interesting with Colossus, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I was watching Limited Resources, and one of the things they said was, if we take this one card out of your deck, how good is your deck? If your deck is not that great, then you probably should not have built it that way, because chances are you might not draw it. You might not draw it with the ideal sequencing. Your opponent might have a very definitive answer for it. Let's see, 10 creatures. Do I want Engineered Might? It looks good here, plus it's uncommon. Ibex is kind of replacement level. Snailid is still not there. It was a rib on me. A rib. It was a rib on me. I kept trying to read that incorrectly, but I think I got it. So if ideally, if I have Deadlock Trap and Dynamo Tower and Prophetic Prism out, that would reduce this by 8, making it cost 3. If I have Prism into Trap or Tower, that reduces by 5, which is 6. 10 for 6. I'll play that all day long. Wolfest Monitor, maybe Infiltrator. I think Wolfest Monitor is more in our wheelhouse. It is colorless, more or less. Tune with Ether adds that's charge counters, energy counters rather. But I think I'm on the market for a Trailhawk. It is a 2-drop, and it does let me get in with my big dumb beefers. So it's not the ideal deck. I'm not sure about running the Metalwork Colossus. The Cow Prowler, sure. So yeah, not sure about running Malware classes, not sure about running Cal Prowler, but kind of bummed about passing the Fabricate, the white Fabricate cards in the +2/+1 instant. But those are somewhat easy to find. Sage of Sheila's Claim. Yeah, I mean, good with Deadlock Trap, good with Dynamo Tower. Alright, so this could be a deck. Not one I'm super thrilled about running, but it is 23 cards. Welding Sparks is not super great in here. I do have a bunch of artifacts, but Puzzle Knot actually doesn't look too bad here, plus it does synergize with Metalwork Colossus. I want to keep that dream alive. Not optimal. I probably don't want to end up in this deck, but this is what I got. Nissa probably be the best pull in the next pack. That not being the case, probably Riparian Tigers, maybe some Pima Outriders, something to just fill out the 4 or 5 drops a little bit. Freighter would be great. So what do we have here? The rare is Skyship Stalker. Skyship Stalker is great, is no doubt. It is a good, great card. Is there anything here that makes me differ from that? Makes me pick something else? Built to Last, Eddie Trailhawk, Trusty Companion, Propeller Pioneer are good cards that I would like to take in that order probably. Veteran Motorist and Licensed Integration, although probably not in a good place to play either. Yeah, let's take the Stalker. Let's see if red comes around this time around. Ether Hub would be good, but there is a Freighter here, and Freighter is just great. Over Rhino, over Ether Hub. Freighter is just a beating and a half. Now then, the Pala. The Pala is a reason for me to try and fix for red-white. Well, it's greedy, it's super greedy, but let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Thriving Grubs. Now, if I'm getting into more red, Grubs could potentially be good. Helion is not a card I'd be happy to play here with a billion, just a metric ton of 3 drops. Welding Sparks number 2 is great over Brawler. Ether Hub here is a great pickup. I'm going to take it and not look back. Over the Giant, over the Artist. It does let me fix, and it gives me energy, which is not nothing. Notice Gremlin, Start Your Engines, Wild Wonder, good cards. Wonder is probably one I'm in the market for now that I have a 3-colored deck. Yeah. It's just a pick probably. Unless I want to ramp into my beefers here. As Alex Stevenson would say, a good problem to have when you need to make cuts. What does this deck look like without white? Not great. I do like the Paula. Although admittedly I don't have that much synergy with the Paula. I have a freighter. So if I have a Prophetic Prism or Puzzle Nut and a Deadlock Trap or Dynamo Tower, it costs 6, which is just an amazing price for a 10/10. Probably gonna start with this in the main. If I'm cutting, let's see, what am I cutting? So what comes to mind to cut? Probably an artisan. We'll board that back in if we see more flyers. That is to say a high spire artisan because there's a glint sleeve artisan. Don't want to cut my 2-drops. Skyship Stalker. This is going to make me want to go more red. Well, here, look at this. Red, white. Probably too late for the self-assembler. I do like Appetite. Maybe it's just Eager Construct. The Reservoir, even the foil one, is probably not what I want here. Spark of Creativity is a good card if you have a bunch of scry effects. You know exactly what's on top, so it goes well that way. I think I'm going to take an Appetite, and I think I'm going to board it in if I need it. Here, we have a Thriving Grubs, built to last, another Wild Wanderer. Problem with Wild Wanderer is I'm not splashing anything here at the end of the curve. I'm splashing stuff or that are mixed in the beginning. So this is not necessarily a good way to fix. And I think I just want another 2-drop. Wayward Giant is a good pickup here. 20 creatures, 31 cards. Gonna have to do a heck of a lot of trimming. Okay, so that way it's 30. Fanatic. That's good. Turn 2 Fanatic, turn 3 Freighter. I might be able to minimize my white. I do want the energy from the Hawk, though. Fairgrounds Warden is ridiculous. Artisan is pretty good. Roll Privilege is a removal spell, is a pretty solid one. Not a Giant or Sage of Sheila's Claim. I'll board the Giant then, I guess. Don't have synergies with this. It is a 3/3 for 3, a hard to cast 3/3 for 3. That doesn't really find me anything. Maybe that's just the cut. Glintslip Artisan is good. appetite for the unnatural. I think I'm gonna board both of those in, because I think I'm just doing better stuff. I guess. Do I want to be doing my lower classes? Possibly not. And if that's not the case, might not be doing puzzle knot. Still got 18 creatures. Big Time Cow Prowler is probably not what I want. I'm going to try and minimize the top end here. Hunt the Weak is good with Stalker, Wayward Giant, Snare Tapter, Welfare Monitor, Renegade Freighter. I mean, a bunch of stuff. Dynavolt Tower. Let somebody have the one Drake. I want the land. The lands here, despite not being full art, are still very nicely done. I enjoy the art on them. 26, so 17 creatures. Maybe the artisan has to go. And then that leaves me 2 more cuts. I probably want to play 17 here. Maybe the Sage can go. Oof, it's kind of tough here. I don't know. I don't know what I want here. I do have a decent amount of artifacts for Sparks to be better than 3 damage for 3 mana at instant speed. Probably want to go pretty heavy red. Not that heavy green, surprisingly. I'm actually pretty evenly split. Let's see, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green. So 5, 5, 8 with a bunch of artifacts. Don't want to cut a creature, don't want to cut an artifact. So if that's true, then what am I cutting? What am I cutting? Maybe the engineered might can go until we have a better idea of what the opponent is doing. Yeah, I'm alright with that. At basics, let's get our ether hub. That's 5, 5, 9. Five, 5, 9 with prism. I think I'm gonna go 6, 6, 7. I have no double green. Maybe I can cut back on green and run it like this. Although I don't know why I would want white earlier. than green. I mean, a Trailhawk, I guess, and the Cobra. Cobra is something I want green for, but not necessarily that early. Alright, alright. 5, 6. If that's the case, what is holding me to green? Cobras and the Rhinos and the Wonder. If I want to go red-white, this would fit in there. And these, well, the giant. Yeah, the white's not great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go this way. Let's see how it goes. Nice thing about this is we have a lot of sideboard options here. Unfortunately, the Pala is the kind of card you want to first pick, first pack kind of get with, so that you can get all the dwarves and vehicles and just make it super duper synergy. I'm going to pause the recording and I'll come back once my opponent has joined us. Okay, so we are going to jump into match 1. You want Tyro, would you like to play first? Yes, I would. Unfortunately, this is not keepable. And neither is this. I'm going to 4. I'm going to 3. I'm going to 2. I'm going to 1. I'm going to 0. Concede. Begin sideboarding. That was great. Super exciting. Awesome. Really fun. I like the subtleties and the decisions I had to make. And I think overall it worked out for me. But let's see. Let's run it back, see how it does. I do want to play first. And I'm going to mulligan this hand. And I'm going to keep this. I'll put that on top because even though I want a 3rd land and a 4th land, 2 Thriving Grubs is pretty good. I can make one 3/4. Sorry, a 4/3. Okay, so if I attack with this and I make it a 4/3, then I trade it for this. And if I make this a 3/2, then I trade, either will trade for this. Yeah. Alternatively, I could fry something. Yeah, no, let's just go. And see how the opponent blocks. I would imagine they killed one of them, which is acceptable. I have Menace on the monitor, or hopefully something better. I draw green, I am just in super shape. But that does not happen. I think I go with the team. That's good. Opponent has a Spire Bluff Canal, so they've already gotten a jump start on the value. And I gotta say, mulliganing to 0 is not my idea of a good time. Wow. Alright, so he can't double block if I do this. Oh, it's when I cast an instant the sorcery. Alright. Right. I thought it was one that came into play as well. Aviator. Oof. Bzz, 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 bzz. Just a metric ton of. Alright, so what do we do here? We zap one of these and swing. If I get this, a +1/+1 counter. If I give this, the Thriving Grub is a +1/+1 counter. It becomes a 4/3 with 1 damage on it. And Dynavolt Tower gives me energy, so it becomes a 5/4 with 1 damage on it. So it has to take 3 things, but this would get through. Okay, so choose target creature you control, choose target creature you don't control. Dynavolt Tower gives me energy. Which I use to buff my guy. Opponent can triple block. Opts not to. And not quite dead on board, but close enough. Well, that went much better than the previous one, but I'm going to be on the draw. Being on the draw, what does being on the draw mean for me here? What did the opponent have? Opponent had the red-blue Dirtle and outvalue you plan. Maybe the giant is better than the wanderer here? Just because by that time I'm probably going to want something that punches. Perfect mana. I am so good at this game. Would be nice to see a 2-drop. Would be nice to see opponent mull to 0, but no such luck. At 2 drop. I am just great at this game. Blue, blue. Oh, they're gonna wish they didn't do that. Okay, so red. Let's hope they don't have a red mana. Otherwise this quickly goes downhill. They do not. They do have a monitor. Which I'm just gonna kill because value. Because I have another one in hand. Because, ooh, a black mana? Ooh, deadlock trap. Now that is business, as Marshall would say. No reason to play pre-combat. Freighter is just a beating. Oh my god. I feel pretty good about this. I have the removal. I have the ways to get around this. Alright, now I'm going to play the artist as a 3/3. I'm going to use it to crew swing both. Always yield. Always yield. Opponent is in a bit of trouble. Opponent is in a lot of trouble, actually. But luck, as we saw in round 1, can be a fleeting thing. 2 3-drops. Great. Now I'm going to get this going. I'm going to attack with my Renegade Freighter. Opponent is at 4. I'm going to play the Deadlock Trap, which potentially prompts a concession. Now the other neat thing about Colossus is it works with vehicles. Serpent, so that would be, no, GG. And that's the match, folks. Let's see if we can do it again. Alright, so we have all our colors and we have a Prophetic Prism, so I am definitely keeping this. 3 lands is nice. We'll probably draw a 4th with the Prism, or just naturally. Inventor's Goggles is a good card to get riggedy wrecked with if they play an Artificer. Trail Hawk is not an Artificer. Let's see. So, Prism. The flood is real, folks. The flood is real. Take one. Very nice. Follow-up play. Trusty Companion. Okay, so if that's the case, they might take the air with it. They might not. I want to maximize my mana by playing the Rhino. Over the Monitor, and Cobra doesn't maximize the mana. Well, I suppose I could have played it and left Death Touch up. That's not the best, I suppose. But what are you gonna do, right? If I hunt the weak, then you can't attack. The opponent can't attack with the Trusty Companion. Kind of feels bad hunt the weaking the Hawk. My other option is to play Cobra, but then I don't want to get too low on life. I would be taking out a 5 potentially. The opponent can't swing. Yeah, I suppose Hunt the Weak is just the play here. Opponent does have blue and white up, so well, if I attack and use energy, I would become a 4/5 with 1 damage, so it trades. Not interested. Five lands for the opponent. 2 cards in hand. Just play this Skywell Harrier. Okay, what do we do here? Okay, so if I attack, it becomes a 4/5, which means I will trade with one of his creatures if he double blocks, if they double block. I think I'm okay with that. Choose not to double block. Cobra and Monitor, or Cobra. Oh. If I had 1 more mana. Yeah, Cobra and Monitor seem okay. Next turn I can do all the things, do the Snare Thopter, give this Menace, and oof. Not great. Two cards in the opponent's hand. If they hit me like this, I would be taking 7. I guess that's what I'm doing now. Oh, hits keep coming. The hits keep on coming, folks. Ooh, yeah, Welding Sparks. So that means I need to leave up 3, and 1 green, so I can play something for 2. Thriving Rhino, I guess. Not ideal. I gotta say, not ideal. I am dead to a lot of stuff. I'm hoping they don't attack with a trusty companion. And it looks like the opponent has gone to the tank. And they're back. Wow, this is pretty tight. That is to say, opponent has a pretty big advantage. Glimmer of Genius. Yeah, that is pretty good for the opponent. Let's see what else they have. Not. Yeah, that's what they have. And that'll do it, folks. Okay, so what do we see? We saw stuff that had, we saw the trusty companion, we saw the, is it something that needs, charge by Q control, freighter, prison. Is Colossus something I want? Probably not. Artisan over Tower, probably. Maybe another one over. No, no, I think it's good. Yeah, let's do it. Yes, I would like to play first, and I'm keeping this. Forest go. Cobra go. Opponent playing Aviary Mechanic for no value. That is excellent. That means I get to play Skyship Stalker next turn. Um, do I want to trade my Cobra? Is the question. I don't think I do. Because I'm hoping to win in the air. Yeah, not taking the 2. Windrake. Ooh, that's going to be good at some point. Attacking with a Cobra, I will trade it for a flyer most definitely. Not the best, but it's okay, I guess. Alrighty, so what do we have? Run out the Prism if that doesn't draw me a land. Go for the Artisan. Fairgrounds Warden, a Aviary Mechanic is just to feel bads. Opponent is on 4 lands, so it's not that much to, let's see, first strike or +1/+0. So I give it +1/+0 first strike, and this dies even if he equips the goggles to it. I love how every turn in Magic can have, obviously not like turn 1 and 2, but turn 7, turn 8, turn 9. You have these turns that require so much thinking, and there's 100 ways to do everything. There's sequencing, there's decisions on whether or not to attack, decisions on how to use your removal. It's just everything comes together. Alright, so opponent's in the tank. I will pause the recording. Once they come back, I will unpause. Alright, so opponent is back and they played a Oval Chase Dragster. Not crewing it. I'm going to play out the High Spar Artisan, and I will put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is looking pretty good for me. It's somewhat difficult to lose from here. Opponent does have 6 lands and 3 cards in hand. Plus an Oval Chase Dragster, an Avery Mechanic with an Inventor's Goggles, and a Windrake. Key to the city. Discard a card up to one target creature can't be blocked this turn. Okay. Assuming you're gonna hit me for 6. Yeah, this guy has reach. People forget, but he does. Okay, so this looks like an all-out attack on my side. Let's see, so that's 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I should be able to comfortably attack like this. Two mana up, 1 card left in hand. So that's 10, 12. That's 12, right? 6, 8, 12. Alright, so return target creature to its owner's hand, scry 1. Okay, so the opponent did have select for inspection. And Scry is apparently a difficult decision. Opponent is struggling with it. And I just caught up on time. Always a good feeling. Magic Online is pretty brutal when it comes to time. It's actually a nicer system online than it is in paper, I think, because it forces you to, make all of your decisions. So, okay, so no blocks. One is at 4. Actually, probably gonna go with the Rhino here. And the reason for that is I can do the double play. Do I really want to take take there? No, I'll save it. So they draw 2 and concede, begin sideboarding. What does this look like? Appetite could command over It's kind of a good question. Appetite over wonder. Yeah, why not? That's pretty good. Removal spell, removal spell. I need one more land for this. I need the forest for this. Goggles, turn 1. There you go. Skyship Stalker should be good. Fairy Trail Hawk. Attack with Speedway Fanatic. Opponent chooses not to block because they probably have better blocks. Next turn. Okay, do I want to revoke here? I probably do not. If I'm not revoking here, what am I doing? Playing grubs, I guess. Okay, 3 cards in hand. Equipping goggles. No, playing another goggles. Okay, 2 cards in hand. Equipping goggles. That is a beating. That is a beating. Triggers grubs. Use the energy. And half your life total is gone. My Welding Sparks hits for 4. Evoke Privilege is similarly nasty. Eager Construct. What do I want here? Red mana? green mana? Okay. Green mana is fine, I guess. Look, no lands, put a card on the bottom. I put a card on the top. So that means they didn't find what they were looking for. And I'm pretty apprehensive about that freighter. Equipping the goggles. Okay, so if I have freighter with fanatic. And they attack with the freighter. That's 5 damage. I want to kill. Okay, welding sparks. This. Two cards in the opponent's hand. The opponent can make a huge flyer by equipping the goggles, but then I just revoke privileges it. Opponent has their own revoke privileges. Ether Hub. Very nice, very nice. So that means I can double play. Half your life total. And it looks like the opponent is in poor shape. I give this haste and swing. Opponent blocks. This. This game is quickly slipping away from me. 3-5, so it'd be 4 bajillion. Alright, so I attack with everything. They block here. They gain 3. They take 6. Not quite, even if that's the scenario. So I guess I just do this then. Alrighty, opponent needs some pretty sick top decks. Ah, boy. Well, that's game. And that's game. Alright, so we'll go for the finals. Fighting for 4 additional packs, which is quite nice. This format is pretty relentless, and I am pretty surprised that I am doing as well as I am with this 3-color deck. It is a pretty low curve, and it does have some pretty powerful cards in it. Double sparks, double welding sparks, and the white 1/3 that exiles, and the enchantment. I can't remember any of the names of the cards. I played with them plenty, but oh, great match. Let's see what this brings us. Hopefully not a timeout, but I've seen that happen pretty often. Not a timeout. Do I want to play first? I do. Do I get to play first? I do not. A mulligan to 6. I am going to keep this. They keep as well. And that was the person. It was a rib on me. That was the person that was sitting next to us in the draft. All right. Red, please. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. That turtle is going to get out of hand pretty quickly, and we are boned. Hey! So they're going to stop attacking because 2 is better than 1. If they do attack, they probably have something that blocks a 2-1, which is not a terribly difficult proposition. The P-foul kind of does a number on me. I'll make this into a 3/3, I think. Going for 2 damage in the air. It's not great. Self-assembler. Yeah, that's a card. And they reveal one, which makes sense. Alright, what are my outs here? I could draw Welding Sparks. I could draw the White Enchantment that stops them from attacking, blocking, accruing. Fairgrounds Warden is pretty good. I think I'm taking 4 here. 6 rather. Third self-assembler. And they have a third self-assembler. That is not the best. Yeah, at this point, I mean, I'm playing a losing battle here. Radar would be decent. Two-turn clock. Two-turn clock. Oh, man. They have a fourth self-assembler? They do not. They only have the 3. Only the 3. Oh, man. Yeah, 3 cards in hand of the opponent. 1 card in my hand, and it is a land. I can tap one of their self-assemblers, but not both. Double blocking here. Pretty sure there's a trick incoming, but I would like to see what it is. So maybe I can play around it next time. No trick incoming. Big play. 1, 2. Arrow of Innovation. 1, 2. He's the Theorist. Revoke. So what does Revoke do for me? Revoke stops any one of these things. I probably want to stop the flyer because I could double block this. Well, opponent is down 2 minutes, so that's something. For that sake, I probably want to finish this out. Bizarre Barge. Yeah, that's a problem. They get energy, they draw. This is screw 3. Which means they can't currently crew it. Oh boy. Oh boy. And they draw 3 cards, which probably is a nail in the coffin. Crewing is good. But opponent still has a lot of damage on board. And that does it. Let's see, does it? Yeah, it does. Alright, so I think in this matchup I'm gonna want to be the to have some fatties. Dino Tower is gonna go. Actually, let's see. The Hawk doesn't seem great here, although it does get in with this. Do I have any? I don't, I guess. On the draw. Maybe cut a mountain. Instead of an artisan, get a cow prowler. Maybe. No, they have big stuff. Yeah, let's run it like this. Let's see what we got. Keeps. No turtle. No turtle. No 3-drop. Wild Wanderer into Wayward Giant into Hunt the Week should be good. I think I need double green. Yeah. You got 8 cards in hand and 3 lands. You have 4 lands and 7 cards. I would imagine they are playing something. The Bazaar Barge. Alright, so Wayward Giant. I got 2 removal spells currently and a Dynavolt Tower. Probably want to play the Dynavolt Tower before on the week just for the extra energy. Self-assembler. No, sir. Okay, so what I can do here is I can hunt the weak self-assembler, and then they make the Bazaar Barge a creature, and I can Fairgrounds Warden it. Five, 6 minutes is gonna put this away pretty sharpish, unless they have something to stop it. Glimmer of Genius. That's not gonna do it. I mean, there are ways definitely to get out of this, even with this kind of arrangement. Ether Theorist. Is that the thing? Alrighty. I need to play 3 creatures. And it doesn't look like they're able to do it. I've been watching a lot of draft videos by Alex Stevenson from Seems Good Magic, and he goes into detail saying how this is a super fast format, and I agree to a point, but then also you get these super heavy board stalls, and it's kind of tough to get through them. So it can get kind of gummed up. I'm expecting a concession here. And that is a concession. Alrighty, now on the draw. I said I was in the draw before, I was incorrect, I was on the play. On the draw, do I want... I think I just want an appetite for the Colossus. Maybe a second giant over Dynamo Tower. It's not that great in this deck. It's still 16 lands here, huh? I think on the draw it should be okay. I mean, I've gotten land screwed plenty with 17 land configurations, so it's not that big of a difference. They mulligan, I keep. Go to 5, go to 5. No, they kept. They top. No turtle. I like that it's no turtle. Theorist. It's going to be a good turn progression. Three, but no mountain. 3 lands, all islands. It seems that it's often the case that when you're running a really bad, greedy, 3-color, 16 land mana base, you get perfect mana. But if you run 9/8, if you run the the smart way of building a mana base, you get either flooded or land screwed. I've seen it more than once. P foul. Giant. I think I appetite this because it gives me the best attacks. And I pump the Rhino. Next turn I get probably Stonewalled. They put a card on the bottom. Let's see if they upkeep Scry. They do not. Alrighty. I think I'm going to play the Deadlock trap here over the Giant, just because they don't seem to be dealing with my creatures very well, and I'm hitting for 6 a turn. Let's see, if they play a trick, I could Welding Sparks it. Card on top. I think I do play the Giant in that case, because I do have the Welding Sparks, and I will be beating in for a whole bunch of damage. Not quite. Not quite. Huh. So I swing out. They take... Yeah, I just played the Deadlock Trap. And there you have it, folks. A win, and it's definitely not where I thought I would be at my first recording, but it's definitely nice having a win under your belt, and hopefully you'll join me for more drafts later on. And until then, uh, best of luck to you.